Hi kids, it's me again, Mr. Tony. I'm back. It's summertime and it's time for our summer session of video art lessons. And you'll notice this says art, A-R-T, but it has an E at the end. For those of you who can read, this says arte, and that's Spanish for art. Okay, that's how you say art in Spanish, arte. Some of you kids even speak Spanish at home, and you'll recognize that. That says arte. And why did I write arte? Well, what we're going to be doing this summer for summer school is we're going to have a theme of countries of the world, different countries of the world. And each week we're going to be doing a different country. And this week we're going to be doing the Dominican Republic. And they speak Spanish in the Dominican Republic. And this is how they say art, arte. Okay, so the Dominican Republic. Where is the Dominican Republic? And what are we going to learn about the Dominican Republic? Well, let's see. Where is it first? I made a little map here, okay? And this is the United States. It's not the best map in the world, but it'll give you the idea. This is our country, the United States, and right here I wrote NJ, New Jersey, okay? That's our state. That's where we live. And up right around there, right around the middle of it is where Belleville is, our school in Belleville. And wherever you live is probably right around there too. Not in the center of the state, more in the northern part of the state, okay? But that's New Jersey, that's our state. And if you go down, south, okay, down is south, you'll end up in Florida, okay? That's at the southernmost part of the country right here, the tip. It's actually a little peninsula, and that means it kind of sticks out into the water there. And then going down from Florida, you have the Caribbean, okay? This right here is the Caribbean Sea, okay? And it's called the Caribbean. But all of this area is part of the Caribbean Sea, and there are islands out there. And right here I have Cuba, and then next to it is the Dominican Republic, okay? The Dominican Republic is on this island right next to Cuba and a little ways away from Florida. And it's actually on an island called Hispaniola, okay? And then right next to it is Puerto Rico, which is part of the United States. Okay, but the Dominican Republic is its own little country down there, and that's our first country that we're going to be learning about this week. We're going to learn about the culture, which, what is culture? Well, culture is the kind of clothes they wear, the kind of food they eat, the kind of art they make, and the kind of music they make, okay? But for me, most important is the kind of art they make. Okay, and so what kind of art do they make down there? What kind of arte do they make? Well, let's think about the area they live in. It's very warm down there. It's a tropical area. It's the Caribbean. It's or the Caribbean. There's two ways of saying that. Sometimes I'll say the Caribbean, and other times I'll say the Caribbean. Don't let that mix you up. It's all part of this area called the Caribbean. And there are islands, Caribbean islands, out there in the Caribbean, okay? So that area is very warm, it's very tropical. And I looked up their art because I wasn't really aware of the kind of art they make down there in the Caribbean. But I had an idea that it was probably colorful. For some reason, areas that are warm, like the Bahamas, Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, warm and tropical, they often have art that is very colorful. Okay, look at that. That's a painting. Look at all the colors. There are all the colors in there. It's blue, orange, yellow, red, purple, all around, all kind of spread out. It's almost like a big design, but if you look closely, it's actually made of people, okay? And there are baskets, and there's some fruit, but there are a bunch of people. It looks like ladies, and they're wearing these wraps on their head, I think they're called. Okay, but the overall feel is very colorful. I have a bunch of pictures. There's another one. Okay, same thing. Similar colors. All the different colors of the rainbow, actually. And some browns, too. And here's another one. Okay, and this actually has fruit, and it has some people, and it has some houses. And then in the distance, you see the sea there, the Caribbean Sea, or the Caribbean. Same thing. Okay, and there's a little beach there. Okay, but it's got that colorful look to it. Same as this, same as that. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing all week. We're going to be doing art that is colorful, and an art that has the colors of the Caribbean. Caribbean colors. Okay? And we're going to begin with a piece of paper. I don't have a piece of paper. I am unprepared. Hold on. Okay, there's the paper. I need tape. Okay, it's my first day back after a few weeks off, so I might be a little rusty. Mr. Tony might be a little rusty, but I will get it together. Okay, so a piece of paper and some crayons. Okay, and now we're going to do something that's like a design, something like this, with all these different colors, but we're going to make it simpler. Okay, in this picture there's a lot of people, a lot of heads, a lot of basket, there's lots of stuff in there, but we're going to do something like it, but we're going to keep it simpler. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make simple bodies, I guess you could call them, and I'm just going to make them by making big bumps and then circle on there, and that's the head. There's another bump over here, little head there. Now, as always, if you have crayons and paper, you can follow along and you can do something like what I'm doing, or you can try to copy me exactly. Or if you don't have crayons or paper, or if you think you might have trouble doing it, just watch and see what I come up with. See if what I do looks like a piece of art that is from the Dominican Republic. Okay, so there's 3 figures to start with, and I'm gonna just fill it in just the way this artist did here. You notice he filled in every bit of space with something. You can't see the ground, you can't see the sky, everything's filled in. So it almost looks like a design, but it's a bunch of people. But it has this nice colorful feel to it. Very tropical Caribbean feel. Okay, so I want to get that same feeling, even if I'm not doing the picture exactly the same. Okay, there's a few bumps with the head on it. There's another one, and I'm just going to fill it all in. One there. Now these are very big bumps, and they would be very big bodies that those heads are sitting on, but that doesn't matter. We just want to make it look kind of like a design. And if you like, it's got bodies in it. Okay, but the more important thing is the feel, the color of it and the feel of it. I gotta take my paper off my crayon here, it's coming off. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill in those round shapes. Now you could put wraps on those heads too. Maybe I will do that with a couple of them like this. I'll have a little wrap there. There might be a special name for that. I'm just calling it a head wrap. It's like a bandana being wrapped around the head. Maybe one over here. And the others I'll just color in. Okay. So that's it. That's the first step with the brown. That's it for the brown. Now for the colorful part. Let me look at my picture again. All those colors. Let's see. I think the color that stands out to me the most are the blues and the purples. And the oranges. And there's a little bit of yellow. But let's start with some blue and purple. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to take plain blue. I'm going to fill this in over here. Plain blue. Okay. That's good. I'll leave it a little rough. I don't want to spend too much time coloring that. You might get a little bored just watching me go back and forth like that. And if it ever does get a little boring and a little slow, you can always skip ahead. Okay, I just want you to get the main idea of what I'm doing here, which is I'm making a colorful Caribbean-inspired picture inspired by the country of the Dominican Republic. Okay, what next? How about orange? I see a lot of orange in that picture that I showed you. Do orange over here. Maybe I'll do this half orange and half yellow. Oh, like that. And yellow. Like that. Yeah, I mean, look at this picture. I actually have clothing on. You can see this woman, she's wearing a dress here. I zoomed that in. She's got a dress, and you can see her sleeves. You can see her collar. This woman, she has a red dress. She has a collar coming down. Now it looks like she's got, oh, maybe that's her hair. Maybe that's the back of her, and that's the head wrap, and that's her ponytail. Kind of hard to tell. And there's a woman, that's the back of her right there. And she's got a blue head wrap and a little blue tied off part. It looks like a ponytail. Okay, but there's all sorts of detail in there, but I'm keeping it simple. I could add detail later. I'm just doing the head and the big body. All right, next, let's see. How about purple? I think I'll do the same thing. I'll do half of it with this purple. And then I've got a different shade of purple. That's a darker purple. Over there. And what else? How about orange? How about red? Okay, red. Let's put red down. No, let's put red up here. How about I make that half red and put a little bit of orange over there on that side. Oops, went over my line. Getting a little sloppy. And how about I jump over here and continue with that orange. And let's see, I'll use the other kind of orange, the darker orange over here. Okay, that's it. Got the idea? Okay, so you can continue on if you started it with a bunch of shapes. and heads. The dog is barking again. Okay, you can just color them in. But I'm going to stop right here because it's going to take me a little time to color all that in, and you might get a little bored watching me just color and color and color. Okay, you should have the idea from what I've done so far of how to do it on your own. But I'm going to stop here, and next time I will begin by showing you the complete picture. And hopefully it will look like a piece of art that someone from the Dominican Republic made, or that someone who was inspired by the art of the Dominican Republic, which would be me, the art teacher who's trying to teach you about the Dominican Republic. Okay, so that's it for our first summer session art lesson. Okay, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.